Foundation, segment 4, the heart. We're doing it a little bit different today. Because this is all about the heart and the connection, the center to it all. Instead of you sitting here watching me and getting distracted by whatever's in the background, whatever I'm doing, whatever you're looking at, I'm going to do this one without video. I'm recording the audio so that you get to listen to it instead of watch it. There will be images on the screen. There'll be some stock video footage that you can watch. Because I really wanted to give this section the importance that it needs to really sort of lock in the power of the heart and the feeling that we have. So I'll let you still enjoy my artwork. There is a reason, if you haven't noticed, every single video I've done has different artwork. It's a whole process. So listen in, and we are going to speak about the heart. We're speaking about the male and female. And we're speaking about desires and how it all relates to love. So now you can listen. This is audio only. This is Foundation segment 4. We're talking about the heart. And it's all in audio. Why? Because I want you to hear it. I want you to listen to my words with your body, not with your ears, not with your eyes. When we're watching videos, when we're listening to someone speak on a screen and we're watching it in front of us, we can get lost in the images that we're seeing, what's happening in the background. I want you to hear the words I speak through the vibration and tone that I speak them in, the way that the words resonate and hit you when you listen to them. Because there's different levels in the way that we hear when people are speaking and what they're saying and what they're expressing from the words that they use. And it'll be different for everyone. Everyone receives things differently. They all receive information differently. They all hear things in different ways. So I know that these words are going to land for you exactly as they need to. So part of this heart, what we're starting with, is the masculine and the feminine. And don't worry, we're not going down the path of understanding and learning the aspects of both sides. There is a lot of information out there that you can grab and do your own research on how you believe, how you feel, what you experience in the ideology and the collective thoughts and beliefs of a masculine and a feminine in both a physical, an emotional, an etherical, in so many different ways, and how that reflects for you. But the way that I want to speak to it is in the balance, is in the duality, because whilst I speak of the heart is the center of it all, but it's part of having that balance between everything that allows us to be in that maximum position of being able to express ourselves. So when I talk about the masculine and feminine, for whatever way that looks like for you, I'm talking about the way that it is balanced for you internally, externally, from the surface masculine and feminine, from the divine masculine and feminine, from the dark masculine and feminine, from all of them, the way that it balances, the way that it looks like as the things that you are doing, the things that you are being, the way in which you allow things to flow, the way in which you make things happen, the way in which you hold a relationship and your connection towards others. And in a typical masculine feminine type relationship, how do you act in that? How do you respond? How do you give? How do you receive? It's all about the balance in that. The way that I see it is not in the needing or having to define what both sides mean and identifying that this trait or this idea or this thought or this action is related to this word. It's more of feeling that balance and flow of what they can represent within yourself. Feeling into that masculine energy, whatever that is for you, and feeling into that feminine energy, whatever that is for you, and finding that balance between the two. And this is pretty much how I do everything, is finding that balance between it all, whether it's 3D and spirituality, whether it's magic and logic, whatever it is, it's finding that balance and finding that place that feels like it's in that place that it needs to. It's not too heavily burdened to one side. Because symbolically, you could look at the plethora of ideas and technical information and historical stories and literature and people's experiences and the way that the masculine and the feminine come together. And then, symbolically, if you look at the whole aspect of that and how it literally, physically creates human life, it's seeing it from such a broad perspective of understanding where one side matched with the other side, both balanced and equally together, can form something new and something amazing. It can create new life. So with that understanding, I believe that the secret to having relationships that are fulfilling and are balanced and are mutually respective and empowering for both sides in the support and the growth and the creation is by having that balance within yourself first. Because when we can start with us, when we can look within, when we can see where we're not balanced, where we're doing too much of one thing, we're doing too much of another thing, and finding ways for us to really look within us internally, then allows us to be able to reflect externally more of that balance being of who we are, which in turn will allow us to attract someone else who is in that similar position, someone else who is going to match the energy that we're in that moment. And I think that is one of the secrets to it all. That's one of our end goals, is getting to that point of when we are in that state, where we can find that connection, that the creation of you being in this healed or highest vibrational state you can be, matched with someone else, can only create something more magical. And at my age, it's not creating another child. It's creating experiences or expressions of who we are. It's combining two forces of these high vibe beings. I think this is where the magic happens. This is, you may hear people talk about this divine union or twin souls or ultimate connection or whatever it is. There's definitely something in it where I don't think anything else can match the energy of that. I don't think there's anything more powerful. Because once you're in that healed state, and the healed state is going to express through your heart, that's where the ultimate version of you is going to come from. It's from that love place. And it's going to be felt, and it's going to attract someone who is in that position, who is going to be drawn to you just by you exuding and being exactly who you are. So if we think about getting us to that place of being in that full balance, of using the essence of the masculine and the feminine in the way that we see it, is then driving us through, which is what we're going to speak about next, is our desires. And when we think of desires and when we're talking about love and the heart, you think it's just this some sort of sexual yearning for someone else. But desires come from the depth of who you are, and physically, on a human, I would see that within the area that they speak of as the root chakra, the area of our groin where the center of our being is, the part where everything sort of comes together when we're sitting down. That is the part that our desires come from. It comes from within the depths of who we are, from, I call it the darkness because it's beneath the surface. It's like deep down within the ocean. It's that sometimes hidden part of who we are that we may not even know is hidden because we're so covered in these layers of these beliefs and ideas and stories that we have to start digging our way through and start experiencing life and start moving through, and I'm going to have to use that word healing, of getting to that part of us where these desires can come through. And I talk about it in codes, the way that they're like these effervescent bubbles that once we start removing all the debris and things up the top, all these little bubbles, these little codes come up, and they're our desires. They're those thoughts in our head, those feelings in our body when it's, ooh, oh, I want to do this thing. Ooh, how cool would it be if I had this job? How amazing would it be if I could go to that place? Ooh, would it be so good to experience this? All these different things that come up through us. None of those surface ones that collectively everyone wants, or what everyone is telling you, or what you've been raised to believe. These are the ones that are just yours. These are the ones that just want to be seen because they're a part of who you are, and it's part of your expansion into more of who you are. It's by allowing and being and knowing that they're there and doing what you feel is necessary to allow more of that to come through. And the best way to do that is to listen to one of them. Start moving towards those desires, listening to those ideas we have of these new things we want to create, or these new paths we want to go down, because it's through that process and it's through that expression of self where everything else will reveal itself. If we decided that we don't want to work in our job anymore, we want to start our own business, of course we know that's going to open up a whole world of new ideas and beliefs and possible challenges, and also a lot of enjoyable experiences and a new way of being. But because of us moving towards that, any of those thoughts or beliefs or ideas that were the reason why you hadn't already been doing that will surface. You'll get a chance to look at it. And once you look at it, you can heal it, you can reject it, you can accept it. There's a million different ways you can do your own healing or move through things. But once you've done that, once you've sort of like completed that task, guess what? There's another desire coming through. There's something else coming up. And it's this continual process that just keeps flowing through us, which is just allowing more of that expansion. And it is also through those experiences that we will get to see more of that masculine and feminine. We will get to see more of, oh, I'm really heavy in the doing. I'm not sort of taking a break. Maybe I was go in having an office job, and now I feel sort of uncomfortable if I have a lull or I don't have something to do for 10 minutes. It's seeing these different ways in which we can just balance who we are. Because when we think about where these deep, dark desires come from, and they come from the root of who we are. Now, if you can imagine those desires rising up from the seat of where you sit, and as it rises up, it has to come through your heart, because that desire has to come from a place of you. It has to come from the essence of who you are. It's going to come through that love feeling. But in order for it to take effect, in order for us to do the things to allow all of it to happen, it's great to have the desire, it's great to have the love feeling and the essence of who we are with it, but we're going to have to use our brain. We're going to need a little bit of that thought. We're going to need some of those tools we've learned. We're going to understand what's happening, what we know, what we learn, what we're experiencing. Now, if you can imagine a infinity symbol being created from those desires, from the root of who we are, up through our heart, through our head, our mind, our brain, our thoughts, And it's coming back down again through our heart and back down to that root center to just keep continuing the process. That's how I see how we create love. That's how I see the flow between the things that we're doing. It's coming from our desires. It's moving up through our heart into the essence of us. We're using the brain and the knowledge and the tools that we have, and we're bringing it back through. And it's just continual. But as you can tell by that motion, it's the thought that is coming back through the heart, and it is the desire coming up through the heart. So the heart is getting hit twice. It's receiving from both within us and from the knowledge, the thoughts that we have as well. So it's bringing together the physicalness, the driving force of us, as well as the thoughts that we've created, or the ideas or the beliefs that we're taking on. So we're bringing those two together. We're allowing them both to come through the heart so they can merge, they can join, they can reject each other, they can expand, they can grow, they can dissipate. But it's the combination of using that within us, which then allows us to express our magnetic and energetic quality of us through the heart. Because once we start getting into that balance, and this is the third part of this section, this is the third part of the heart, this is the way that I put it all together. Once we get to that state, once we start doing more of that desire, using our thoughts, our learnings, our understanding, and doing the things, having them to be combined within our heart and our heart's source and the expression of who we are, that starts radiating from our body. As it starts radiating from our body, other people are going to start to feel it. The more we keep doing this, the more that love feeling increases. The more we start realizing, oh my goodness, I'm starting to feel really good. I'm losing some of these beliefs. I'm starting to realize I love creating these new things. I love moving towards the things that I desire. I love learning. I love removing thoughts that don't serve me. And I'm feeling good. I want other people to feel good. And that comes through your heart. That is felt through the heart. You express that around you. You will start, and even if you know anything about heart breathing and heart coherence and how we actually breathe through the heart, and this is where it first starts. If you don't really understand the power that your heart has, is through doing something like that. You get to feel and understand that feeling, that amazing, blissful, energetic joy that you feel from your heart when you are in those moments. And those moments get more often. That heart-filled radiance extends more and more. Eventually you get to the state where you can just ripple it out through however far you want to extend your energy out. You can extend it to your house, to your family, to your friends, your suburb, your country, even the whole world, or galactically, as infinite as you want this existence to be. You can do that. You can constantly do that. And it all comes from the heart. It all comes from the essence of who you are. And believing that the heart is the part of you that makes you you. And it doesn't matter what you believe or what your thoughts are or what stories you hold to be true right now. You know that symbolically and collectively with so many other ideas that the heart is the expression of love, and we do overuse that word love because we can love a pen, we can love our grandparents, we can love a partner, we can love a slice of cake. It does cover a lot of different areas. And we know that drawing of the heart and the way that it is symbolized through the roundness up the top and the way it comes together down the bottom. And if you listen to my channelings over on TikTok, when I was bringing in the energy of Aphrodite and Archangel Michael and Baphomet, There was a description and drawings that I did of seeing them as these winged beings, these angelic forces with these wings that do curve up from the center out and around and come back together. That's the unity, that's the balance, and that's the symbol of the heart. That's the symbol of who we are. That's where it all sort of comes together. And you can draw on any of these tools and any of these beliefs and any of these stories and any of these energies, or the information you receive yourself, the way you can tap into your own frequencies of where your beliefs lie and what you want to hold on to. And you can draw on that to allow you to feel and know and understand that more. Because I can tell you over the last few years, and for me it did just first start with the heart coherence breathing. Eventually it moved on to all these different versions of the heart and the way that I saw it, from a dark heart, a gold heart, there was a dragon heart, there was a diamond heart, but all these symbolical experiences that I had that were created from however they created, whatever you want to believe, came to me in order for me to see and to feel and to understand and know more about that power that the heart has and how we can really drive everything through that. When you're not feeling good, when you're not feeling in a good state, breathe through your heart. When you want to send love to others and you want to express more of that radiant or loving feeling around you, you extend that from your heart. Using your heart to connect to everything is what is going to allow you to bring that balance in. It's balancing your desires, it's balancing your thoughts, it's balancing the pieces of you that make up you, and it's going to attract things to you only by allowing you to get more clarity and more clear and more radiant and more high vibe in the way that it extends itself. And it's through these processes, it's through the understanding and the learning more about what you learn and being open to so many other possibilities and sort of filtering that through your own body, through your own thoughts, but always knowing that it's going to end up through your heart. It's going to be filtered in the most potent way it can be. So even when you do have experiences or thoughts or ideas or people or whatever it is that come into your life that don't resonate with you, bring it into your heart and allow it to be transformed. Allow it to dissipate. Allow it to combine with something else that you have. Allow it to not stay within your body, not become something that you want to hold as a rejected thought or idea or as a negative experience, but allow it to be transformed through love. Allow it to just be seen as what it is. Allow it to be an experience that is just bringing you closer and closer and closer to that balance within yourself, to that balance between all those different pieces and parts of who you are. Because the heart is the center of it all. And it's the only thing you need to be able to do everything else. Think about that. Think about the power that it has. You think about the things that you want, the things that you want to experience, the things that you want to see in your existence. Why are they not here? There'll be a belief, there'll be an action, there'll be something that may not have come to fruition yet because of something that you may be thinking or something that you need to experience first. But when you're trusting in the heart, when you're knowing in the heart, if you're connecting to the heart and to the love frequency of it, it's going to remove those beliefs. It's going to allow you to accept those situations. It's going to allow you to experience whatever it is you need to experience. And then it's also going to allow you to feel exactly what you always wanted. It's going to allow you to feel that beautiful vibrational state. And when we start doing more and more of that, when we start expressing more and more of that love frequency around us, It's contagious, but in a good way, because you know when you're in a good mood and things are happening really great and you're like, yay, let's go, I'm in my heart space. People react to that. People will talk to you, things work out, everything is fun, and it is an amazing feeling. So just, even if you just thought about it as, oh, I'm spreading my own little love frequency everywhere, it's like your good deed for the day. So tap into your heart, listen to your heart, breathe through your heart, and just know it's the most powerful tool that you have, and it's the only tool they actually need. Now the next video after this is segment 5. We're getting close to the end. Section 5 is all about the expansion. I'll see you then.